Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you to Rich Hans for the introduction. I'm honored to be here today, virtually, in support of DLA Piper and the Veterans Task Force on this Veterans Day holiday. November 10th is also the 245th birthday of the U.S. Marine Corps, so let me give a special greeting to the Marines who are tuning in. I'll share a few thoughts today as we reflect on the meaning of this holiday and consider the importance of the mission of the Veterans Task Force. While we continue to maintain social distance this year, nothing detracts from the sense of closeness, the sense of community, and the sense of shared sacrifice that we feel for one another on a day in which we celebrate our veterans and their families, and in which we double down on our commitment to support all veterans. What is it that we owe our veterans and their families on this day? Well, first thing I'd suggest is a keen awareness of what they fought to defend, or what this great big experiment is all about, the one that you and I like to call America. President Abraham Lincoln at Gettysburg spoke for the soldiers who had given their last full measure to hold our Union together. In his short address that day, dedicating a military cemetery, President Lincoln exhorted his listeners to resolve, and I quote, that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Honest Abe knew he had to say it out loud, that this Republican form of government could, in fact, perish, unless we fought for it, unless we were willing to compromise, and unless we dedicated our lives to living up to its ideals. It's that message that reminds us why we owe so much to those who have vowed to protect and defend our Constitution and our way of life. Because our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Coast Guardsmen, and Marines to this day are sworn to support and defend that Constitution, creating our republic. And our troops swear to do so at their personal peril, signing a blank check to all the American people and payable with their lives. Our veterans have learned the hard way, having lost buddies in battle, that this nation has no ordained right to exist. It is to our veterans and their families, and especially our Gold Star families, that we owe this freedom that rides so lightly on us. As you have all recognized, we have an obligation to support those who have made these sacrifices without a second thought, through organizations like the Veterans Task Force led by DLA Piper and the Legal Services Corporation. The commitment of this task force is to tackle the challenges faced by our veterans who have given us so much, and to serve the 1.7 million veterans who are eligible for legal aid with respect, with compassion, and with purpose. Through your work to improve the coordination of veterans and legal services, to build community networks that are very strong, and an alliance of advocates, and to aid in the transition to civilian life, we seek to address the civil legal problems faced by former and returning servicemen and women, which are often the cause or the consequence of our veterans' highest unmet needs. Those involved in providing legal services for our veterans are often the only gateway for those veterans to gain access to committed and continued legal support. Today, I would just say as a fellow veteran, I am humbled to have been invited to provide a couple words to you all on such an important occasion, and to offer my respects and my congratulations to all who have been involved in the Veterans Task Force's series of field hearings. My colleagues and I at the Cohen Group are proud to be supporting DLA Piper and its partnership with the Legal Services Corporation to lead this critical effort. So thank you for letting me be part of this hearing, and thank you also for the great work you are doing to support our veterans, fellow Americans who have given so much and asked for so little in return. Thank you.